Okay, so I just got my Wicks, my new Wicks that I purchased. They said it was gonna come on like Tuesday, but it came today. Thank God I was here. I got LX18 and LX20. So I'm gonna poke holes in my wax, and thank God I have like really soft wax. So I'm gonna poke holes in them, and then I don't have any time to test them now, but I can test them when I get back to school and stuff. But at the same time, actually, I gotta go a little bit early because I can't have these sitting in the car. Just thought about that. I don't like this scent. I mean, like, I like it. It's just they changed it. Like, instead of it smelling more, it was supposed to be like coconut and caramel, right? But like they changed the recipe so it's more of caramel rather than coconut, and I actually prefer coconut. Like my other scent here is cocoa butter cashmere, so it's rich cocoa butter and coconut, and I love this scent. Oh, I love this scent. It smells so good. I love this scent. But this one does no longer has that smell of coconut to me. It smells like caramel. If you like caramel, you'll like it. I don't even like sweet scents like that. But other people do. It's not just about me. So. Probably going to test a 20 in this one just to see like why these are in here, and then I can also just like change them out. But yeah, because if there's no point of like a non-scented candle if we're gonna do like the scented candles first, so I guess I'll use a 20 to see how this works. This is the one I've tested a 16 and a 14 on, and I heat gunned it a bit and whatnot. I'm gonna clean this off. This one doesn't have alcohol on it because this is like a non-scented one anyway, so not like I'm contaminated or anything. Let's see. Nope. I think. I think in between those. I think they're straight, okay? And then the 20. Okay. 20. These are some very, very bendy wicks. Okay. I think it is a bit short, so I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it out a bit because it's kind of short. I kind of cut it a little too short. I think that's fine. Okay, I'm going to put the 20 back in here. And these should be easy to remember because I've been wanting to test the 18 in here for a while. And hopefully I remember that's the 20 though. So I should have. Only one is gone. So actually, should have put this in here, honestly. Okay. I guess I'll take these. I don't know. This is actually, I think it's 16. I don't need. Okay. These. And well, I successfully just got done wicking my new tester jars with my LX18, and I wicked my non-scented candle with the LX20, and I got everything packed up for when I go to college. So when I go back to my university, because I'm at home right now. So thank God they came early. They came while I was here, so I go ahead and wick them, and I can be testing there. They've already cured because I made them. Actually, let me get my paper. I made them on 4/21 at 5 o'clock. So it's already been a few days past that, like I think 2 already and whatnot. And then I got class and like work and stuff, so I can't test them until like 7 p.m. anyway. So yeah, so thank God I already got, like, I have the 18 here, I got a 14 there, and as a result, the pool was too small. Thank God I did not make any scented candles until I know that it's around 18 to 16, because I thought that the like wicker suggestion on Candle Science's website was too large, because I was seeing a lot of people saying it was too large. The wick they gave me, I was like, that can't be. Ended up, I don't know if it's that one or not, because I still feel like it is overwicked. So that's why I got that size. And I went down and whatnot, but I do feel it's close to the jar size. So I did waste of money, but I also figured it out because I assume that, you know, that 0.14 difference does make quite a difference. And even though I looked on their website, and the jar that I was going after, that I used as my like sample to know what wick I was going to try and whatnot, how I got from all the way from a 20 all the way to a 14 and 16 was when I watched Jeff Stanley Handcrafted with his testing video. He used the same wax that I choose to use, and he tested them, and he said his jars were about like 2.9 or 2.95. So I took that as that's extremely close to a 3 or 3.1. So and then I looked on the site and it said 3. So I'm like, okay, so that's relatively close. And he used a 16 and said he could wick down. So and then when I bought his Kindle book, he said he wicked down and he chose 14, but the 16 also did good. So I went 14, that don't work, 16. So now I'm going 18 to 20. So either one of these should be good. And honestly, after that, it should be done. Honestly, like my testing should be done. Hopefully so, because I only have like 2 more wicks to try. And that should be it, honestly, because these are the best wicks for this wax. And also this wax is very soft. It's a parasoy wax, or it's a paraffin blend, like a very comfort blend wax. So it's easy to get scented and it's easy to smell the scent. So that's all I have to be testing for. So safety and all of this stuff should be good and whatnot, because it's the best, it's the most recommended wicks for this wax and whatnot. It hasn't been giving me problems or sitting and whatnot. And if it does give me some black smoke, that means you did not trim the wick. So you always have to trim your wick, because the flame will be a little too high, out of control and whatnot. So you want to make sure you trim. And I had to trim, so at least I know that now. I know it does that. It doesn't soot, but it does like create a little bit black smoke. I just got back to my dorm from my house and whatnot, because I had to take a test today and I gotta work on campus too and whatnot. And as you can see, I'm moving a lot of stuff out of here. I just have some stuff in here, and I moved my second one out already, and I put some other stuff in there. And then all the space is like mostly like empty under my bed. And when I come take my stuff out, some stuff is still here because I still like needed it to like the last actual like day or week and stuff. So, and I also have my candles here. I had to, like, as soon as I got here, I left early this time, thank God, because since my wax is so soft, and these are candles anyway, so like I leave like just on time. So I had to get ready a little earlier so I can, like, when I got here, I can come to my room really quick and drop these off and then go to class, take my test. So I'm gonna set these up. I'm gonna check them too to make sure they didn't get any type of heat from them while traveling and just like packing them in general, honestly. And I got my food here, and I brought my stuff in. Oh, I shouldn't eat these right now. And these, like, all of these have an 18 in them, and the nameless one is the 20. And I also have like them here just in case. I really just needed like the 20, but you know, just in case, because I did like cut them in half too. So, you know, I don't know about that. But hey, because I could use them twice, but I don't know if I could do that. Thank God I realized I can't really do that when I'm selling them, even though I can use them. It's just that they don't have like the metal piece, because if I'm using like this half, then yeah, they have the metal piece, but the top doesn't. So, and these like stop, they stop the fire, so, and keep the wick in place, I believe. Or at least that's what I heard about these right here. So it doesn't burn to the bottom of the jar and keep burning and bust the glass or anything. It's supposed to be like a safety feature and whatnot. So I realized that I'm not gonna be able to cut these in half like I was thinking about, because they need to have these to even, one, for the safety precaution, and two, just to stay down here anyway when they burn to the bottom. So I'm gonna check these tops really quick. Let's see. This is the one that like I kind of nicked it when I was cutting the wick. I nicked it a little bit, And I'm trying to still learn how to like cut my wicks, like what length they need to be and whatnot, because they can't be too long and they can't be too short. So, and they also, like, I noticed like the wax, it dips in the middle. I don't know if it's because it doesn't have a wick, not a wick. Yeah, if it didn't, I'm curious if that's because when I first poured them, they were wickless. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, you see how it's like it goes down, like those little machines that you could like throw like a ball in and then like roll around the inside and then fall in a hole. So like some like this one didn't cave in, and I'm assuming that's because of the temperature I poured it, because I sucked at the temperature because I had to do like one candle at a time. I had to do one candle at a time, so it was kind of like tough. This one has a 20. I heated my wax, which is like better and like safer and whatnot to keep all impurities out, and then just, you know, easier to melt in general. Easier to melt in general compared to like on the stove. And in the pouring pitcher itself, I use my Presto pot and whatnot. But with that, it was a lot of going back and forth and whatnot, because I only like put enough wax in for 5 jars. And when I did that and I put it in my pouring pitcher, it cooled down immediately. And when I was trying to pour it from the thing, I didn't want to hurt myself. One thing that I didn't, and I pray I don't. And it had just enough wax in there, so like if I spilled, and which I did, I spilled like one of these, I believe it's this one. This one is has less than the other ones. So I had to recount, and thank God I did. Hopefully it was right. And when I had to recount for the percentage of fragrance all in it. But yeah, like it was a hassle, because it's like a Presto pot is only really worth it if you have a lot of wax in there and you just keep it full. Not like, oh, like how I am, because I just do too much. I'm just extra. So if I'm making 20 candles, I want to measure enough wax for 20 candles and melt it type thing. When most of the time when people like use a Presto pot and like wax brushes in general, they just have wax in there, just sitting in there, so it always stays like at a certain level, so it'll be easier to like get out the machine. So honestly, I would have to just fill it up just so I can ladle it out quickly and whatnot. But even with that, it's like it's kind of hard to ladle out because I'm using a ladle. And honestly, I forgot I even had a ladle. I used my spoon instead. Like the little spoon that I was using, I got a metal spoon, in which is how I get my wax out, because that wax, it's like a soft petroleum jelly, but it's also a little tough and messy. So I had to try to use that and stuff, in which I did, and which you'll see in the video, as well as my reels on Instagram at Destiny Hope Candles and whatnot. So yeah, I tried to use like the spoon, but it wasn't getting enough. Like, and then by the time I moved it over, it was like not solidified, but it cooled down to like 160, 145. So my first few candles before I started like heat gunning the pouring pitcher and whatnot, like as soon as I put it in the thing, it went from 200 or 190 degrees to 145 or 160, when I'm supposed to add the fragrance oil in about 180 or 190 and 170. So it already cooled down. So thank God I actually wrote down like the temperature I heated it up to, the temperature I poured it, and the temperature I put the fragrance oil in there and whatnot. So at least I got like a few things so I can see, like, okay, if one's around 145, one's around 160, one's around 180, I can see which one performs better, or if they perform the same. So I see that I have a lot of leeway with this wax, which I should be able to anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna get to testing these around 7 o'clock, because that's when I get off of work, because I don't have enough time to test it. Because if I start, because I'm an antsy person, so I really want to go ahead and get started, but I can't because it's 3 something now, and which I need to start eating honestly, because I don't have like 34 minutes before my shift starts. But because I need to, like, in order to test it properly, you have to burn it for a full 3 to 4 hours. So I only have like right about now, if I would have started early, like an hour, but now I only have like 34 minutes, 36 minutes or something like that. So I won't even have enough time to even like properly burn them and stuff. And then it's like, also, it's like I slick don't know how I want to test them. Like, put one in each room, in which this is a dorm, so I'm not supposed to have these anyway. And then it's like, it's kind of small, and I want like, it's just in a bigger place, and then it's all like scented. So it's like, do I have them all in my room? to be safe, and then also like to test them, the flame and stuff, and see the melt pool. But I also need to test for the scent carry too. So it's like, why test for one when I can test for both? So it's like, I don't know. So I honestly would have to burn one at a time, and then just see like its first 2 burns, and then I'll see like if it's good or not. And then honestly, if it's too much, then I can go down to a 16. If it's too little, I can go up to a 20. Or if it's just right, I can stay at an 18. So yeah, it is very finicky when it comes to fragrance oil. When you add in the fragrance oil, the wick can be too big at that point, or it can be too small, because the fragrance oil ratio, not ratio, but the fragrance oil in binding with that wax can make the wick burn hotter, even though it was a perfect wick for another scent. So yeah, I learned that too. But I'm hoping that I only need like one wick, one standard wick size. That's what I'm hoping for. So that's why I was like, I don't even know if I need to do this anymore. Thank God I did, because now I know the 14, 16 does not work. So I didn't have to waste time testing those in like my scented jars. So I'm not gonna test the 18 and the 20 in this one. Maybe the 20, I don't know yet, because it kind of doesn't make sense, because it's like I said, what's the point of testing in here when if it's good here and I add the fragrance oil in there and then I need a different wick? Doesn't make sense. So it only tells me that that wick works for that wax or standard. But if a certain type of fragrance oil gets mixed in, then there still may be some changes. So it still really doesn't make sense. But yeah. So I just came back from the store because out of everything I brought everything except for a lighter. I couldn't even test yesterday. I was supposed to. And I get off at 7 again today. So, you know, thank God. So I got some type of time to work on them. But yeah, like I forgot the most important thing, a lighter. So I went to the store and I got a lighter and some other stuff. And I also got something else that I needed. Extension cords. So I don't have to unplug much and keep moving stuff around. I have like those plugs now, which is perfect for behind like the little like dresser next to my TV. I have all of them lined up, and I wasn't going to, but I'm just gonna heat gun them just to do it, just to like close up that little spot where I dug in for the wick. And also I went rating the the cold throw and whatnot, and this one seems to have a very weak cold throw, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's a mistake with it, or I don't know, because you can smell it on the lid. So I mean, I guess that's good. You can smell the lid of it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the lids are like sucking in some of the fragrance. I have no idea. I hope not, but with this one, you can't really smell it. At first you could, I believe so, but you know, everything else has a really good cold throw. This one is a little weak. This one is very good. This one is extremely good, even though like it just smells mostly like caramel. This one is good and whatnot. This one is a no, but you can smell it from the lid. So at least you got something to smell it by. And I'm gonna go ahead and go heat gunning these. So I just heat gun all the tops. Try to get some wax down in that wick area. And yeah, I'll put the tops back on them and let them sit for a bit until I get off of work. Okay, so I just got off and I got about 5 minutes until 7, and then I'll light it. I kind of want to light it exactly at 7. Alright, so this is my baby powder scent that we have just now lit. So I'm not sure if the wick is too low. This is my I haven't done this for quite a while, so I assume it's a good wick size. I think so. It does seem a bit small, but I don't think that's a problem. I don't think it should be like a big wick either, so we'll see. Okay, so this is where we are at 8:03. I smell it when I get up close. Haven't smelled it quite yet, but it's also in the beginning stages, so I guess I shouldn't expect to smell anything just yet. So it's an hour in, and actually I actually do smell it. I moved it over here from where it was originally, and I actually can like smell it from like here. So let's see, like as the hours go on, I continue to test it and whatnot. How far do I smell it? And I'm not sure if I need to put it in a separate room, you know, so I could walk in and get a whiff, or should I keep it in my room and wait till I can like smell it? It is currently 8:10. And so I'm testing this one because most likely it'll have like a very good hot throw, because this is the one with the best cold throw. Okay, so it is currently 9 p.m. Flame is still looking good. I'm starting to smell it more from my bed because I moved it from, like I said, here to where my bed is, and I moved it over here, and I can smell it over here. And then in a few more minutes, I'm gonna go check on my other scent that I had started. I used one of the I used a scent that I know like had the strongest cold throw, and I put that in the next room in my dorm. So yeah, smelling pretty good, and it is, I believe, hour 2. Okay, so this is this scent, and it's not even an hour yet, and it's small of a melt pool, and I can already smell the scent throughout this like whole entire area, the little meeting room. And it's looking good for the first hour, and it also smells really, it actually smells better than out the bottle. I'm not as bothered by it. I still prefer the coconut, but the caramel's okay too. And the hot throw is fantastic to like only be not even an hour in yet. It is 10 o'clock, so we are now 3 hours in. I'd say I probably could wick this one up, probably. Maybe the wick is off center. It's just been looking like this, like when, I guess I'm not used to burning candles, but one side, as you can see, is like more compared to like one side, and which is how it was with my previous wicks. So I mean, it's good. It's not all the way on the edges, but it should be close within 3 hours. So I'm gonna let it go on another hour, and I'm gonna see where it goes from there. But it should definitely have caught up over here by now. At least I know it's not overwicked, but it could also be underwicked. Okay, so definitely still going strong. It is 10, so it has only been going for 2 hours now. Well, not even a full 2 hours. It still has like a very good hot throw, but the pool is quite small. The flame looks good. It has a good flame, I'd say. Maybe it could be taller, but I know it's not too high and it's not too short. Okay, so I currently have my unscented candle burning. This has the LX20 in it. I'm just gonna go ahead and burn this so I can see like how the melt pool does, because This has been going for 4 hours now. And the milk pool is good, I'd say. I think it's starting to catch up over here. It's definitely like gotten smaller on the side. So I can say this could be a good fit. This scent may need to be worked on, but I'd say it's pretty good for the most part. Overall, it seems like a subtle scent anyway, so I may, I may need to go up in the fragrance oil department, maybe. Don't know necessarily, but I'll see. But it is starting to catch up around the 4th hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow it out. And it most definitely needs to be trimmed. Like, definitely. But that's a LX wick for you. So, and it like smells like so pure, like baby powder. But while it's burning, you can clearly smell the flame. So I don't know. But when you're up on it, you can really smell the baby powder. But while it's burning, you can definitely smell like it's burning. But right now I have my unscented candle, like I said before, burning with the LX20, so I'm going to try that. And then I blew this out around hour 4, which is right here. So I burn this from 7 to 11. I would say 1. And it's cured for about 5 days. The cold throw, I say, was nice. It was a subtle cold throw, but it was there and it was noticeable. Hot throw, it's around here. Like, it started around hour 1, it was kind of like around here, but when hour 2 came around, I actually started smelling it, and then it started dying down, I believe, around hour 3 to 4, maybe because the wick looks like this now. But this, I would say, I probably need to work on a bit more. Not necessarily sure, but I do know that I will label it as a subtle scent. So yeah, and this flame got a bit high, and it's probably because it is directly under my vent. So yeah, this is a good place to move it. And I'm gonna let this burn for about 3 to 4 hours and see how this does. So this one now has been burning for 3 hours. Melt pool still needs to increase a bit, so we're gonna have to see about that. Update. Okay, I am eating Chick-fil-A right now, and I just blew out my candles again. It is day 2 of testing, and I did my 2nd round of testing earlier today, but because since I didn't have class and I skipped another one, and I had work at 4, so I started burning them around like 8:55, but I said 12, and I blew them out around like 3 to like 2:45, 2:55, because I saw that cocoa, even though like the scent throw, the hot throw is beautiful, it's great, the melt pool isn't keeping up. It's not nearly as big as baby powder. It's melt pool, and I burned baby powder for 4 hours, and I burned cocoa for 3 hours. And the melt pool, it was just, it wasn't tunneling, but, well, it was tunneling, but the wick wasn't tunneling, if that makes sense. Like, it was just burning downwards, but it wasn't getting the edges, but the wick was still okay. Like, the flame didn't go out. But with baby powder, as you can see, the melt pool was much wider, but it still had some heck up on the sides, even on the 2nd burn for about 3 hours. In which I see that, so basically what I did was I said, okay, if anything, I could still probably keep burning 18 and baby powder, but I definitely have to wick up for cocoa. Definitely gotta wick up. So I just go ahead and blew them out and just took out the wick, heat gunned them a bit before I had to leave for Chick-fil-A to go to work. And I put the 20 in instead, and whatnot, and I'm gonna see how those burn. So, but I know I was supposed to reach full melt pool on first burn, but it should reach it around like the second or third. And also, granted, that's why you don't want it to, on the first burn, you don't want it to get a full melt pool, because that means it's burning too hot. Because if it can get there on the first burn without being inside of the jar, when it gets deeper in the jar, you're definitely gonna have too big of a melt pool and too big of a flame, because the jar is gonna be too hot. Because if it's already hot enough to get a full melt pool on the top, just imagine what it's gonna do on the bottom. So that's why I was like, I don't know, maybe I should keep testing, especially in the baby powder one. Maybe I should keep testing until wait till it get lower in the jar and see what it'll do. But I didn't want it to like potentially like tunnel or like bury like the other one did. So I just go ahead and put the 20 in, and I'm gonna see about that. I don't know, but yeah.